Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today we are going to be doing part 4 of my Christmas haul. So the first thing that I got was this Hogwarts mug. I don't drink too many hot drinks, but I do like hot chocolate, and maybe it keeps stuff cold as well, but I'm not really sure. But I really like it, and I will definitely be drinking stuff out of this in 2016. The next thing that I got was one of the decorations that was around my house. If you have not seen any of the other parts, you should go watch those because I talk about things that I'll be talking about in this video. So go watch those and then come back and watch this one. So I got this thing, I can't remember what it's called, it was on the box, but it's those things that Harry drops in the movie where he is coming out of Umbridge's office and someone tries to discover him, so he drops them all and they start making noise and everything. I think you pull it back and then it like starts to roll and then it makes noise and stuff. It's really funny, so I'm really happy to have this. The next thing that I have is all 8 Harry Potter movies in this little box set, and it has them all in Blu-ray, so I just am so excited to have my own copies of these finally. All of ours end up getting scratched because my brother really is terrible and breaks things and scratches things a lot, so I'm happy to have my own clean copies that will not get ruined unless I do it myself, and then I have no one else to blame but myself. The first book in this haul is going to be Bullfinches? I don't know. Mythology by Thomas Bullfinch? Bullfinch? Is that how you say that? This has a bunch of different mythologies in it, and the end pages are of naked Greek people. I just really love mythology, and so my dad ended up getting this for me, and I really appreciate it. I think the cover is really cool, and it's one of those like faux leather, possibly Barnes & Noble books, but I will definitely be getting to this. I love getting mythology books because I'll just randomly pick one up and read a story in it or something like that, and it just gives me some motivation to write more. I feel like mythology motivates me to write, so I like reading mythology. The next book that I got was S by J.J. Abrams. This is that book that looks like a library book. I haven't opened it yet from the packaging. This is that book that has a book within a book kind of thing. The actual book is called S, and then there's a library book called Ship of Theseus, and that is by V.M. Straka? I don't know. And then there's 2 characters that are reading the book and are writing to each other in the margins of the book and are leaving items in the book. So I'm really excited to read this just because I really like to read books with different types of formatting. And I've been wanting this book for a really long time, and when it first came out, it was so expensive. So I'm glad I kind of waited to put it on my wish list until recently when it dropped a lot in price. So yay! The next books that I have are all from my aunt, and they came in this box. And the first book that I got was The Martian by Andy Weir. This is, everyone has been talking about it. It's a science fiction adult novel that has a very interesting first line, but it is hilarious. I've heard it's just super funny. It's about a guy who gets trapped on Mars and he has to survive years until someone can come to rescue him. So I will definitely be getting to this one because I haven't watched the movie because I want to read the book first. So I'll be doing both of those things early on in this new year. The next book that my aunt got me was Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. This is a steampunk young adult novel, and I really do like Scott Westerfeld. I really enjoyed his Midnighters trilogy, and I did enjoy the Uglies series / trilogy when I read them. I still need to read extras because I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I wanted to try out some other Scott Westerfeld, and this one seemed like a good one, and it's also illustrated, which I think is really cool. I always like when books are illustrated, so I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. The next book that my aunt got me was The Kings of Clonmel by John Flanagan. This is book 8 in the Ranger's Apprentice series. I recently read book 7. I think this is a book series that I really, really want to finish in 2016 because I've been reading it for years, for like 3 years or something. So I want to get to it and finish it. There's 12 or 13 books in the series or something like that. Then there's a spin-off series, and then there's also a prequel series. So I really just want to get to those other series, and I really am enjoying this so much. The main character, his name is Will, and he becomes the Ranger's apprentice, and the Rangers are these really mysterious beings in this kingdom, and no one really knows what's going on with them, and no one really wants to deal with them too much because people think that they do witchcraft and stuff. They're basically very sneaky archers. That's pretty much what they are. The next thing that I have is this Voldemort Funko Pop. It's a choking hazard for small children, so don't do that. But he will just be going on to my shelves somewhere. I've kind of spread out all the Funko Pops, so they're not all on the same shelf there. Ron and Hermione are on my other shelf on the other side of the room. Hagrid's at the top of the shelf. Snape's right there, and Harry is right there. So I've decided that I'm not going to all have them lined up on a shelf because that's pretty tacky. The next thing that my aunt got me is this copy of Aragon by Christopher Paolini. This is the collector's edition. It's in that faux leather, and I saw it in the bookstore. I was like, wow, that is really pretty. And I started reading Aragon when I was really young. It was kind of one of those first fantasy series that I ever started reading, and so it's just one of those nostalgic things for me. So I'm very happy to have this. I'll definitely be rereading these books at some point in the future, but I feel like I just finished the last book. Oh my gosh, was that 2 years ago? Maybe I should read these really soon. Don't know what Aragon is. They made a really terrible movie of it. If you haven't seen that, it's about a boy who finds a dragon egg and then he becomes a dragon rider, and then that gets him in all kinds of trouble. The next book that my aunt got me was Queen of Fire by Anthony Ryan. This is the third and final book in the Raven Shadows series trilogy, and the way that the second one ended, I'm very curious to see where all the characters will end up and where the story will end up, so I just am really excited to get to it. It's a little bit thicker than other books that I've been showing in this haul, so I don't know when I'll get to it. Probably sooner rather than later though, because I kind of want to wrap up the series and have that one checked off on my list. The next book that my aunt got me was Inside the O'Briens, which is funny because my last name is O'Brien, by Lisa Genova. She's the author of Still Alice. This one is about a man. He is a father and he finds out that he has Huntington's disease. If you guys don't know, Huntington's is a very genetic, neurological degenerative disease. That was kind of hard to say. And basically, if you find out that one of your parents has it, you have a 50-50 chance of having it as well. And so the book is about this guy who's having to deal with the fact that he is dying, and also his children are having to make the decision of finding out if they have Huntington's and then having to live with that knowledge, or to live without knowing if they have Huntington's or not, and just knowing that there's a 50-50 chance that they could get it. And also, the way that you get this disease is that it's a certain number of repeats in your genetic material, and the more repeats that you have, the younger you are when you start showing symptoms, and the faster the disease kills you. There is no treatment for it, so you know for sure you're gonna die. And sometimes through generations, those repeats increase, and so a lot of the time, children of people that have Huntington's that end up also having the disease will get it younger and younger. Very heavy topic. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go. And I really want to be reading this one soon because it is just one of those books that I haven't really read too much about. It's like a literary fiction book and I don't read too much of those, so I'm really excited to read this one. And the last book that my aunt got me was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I really liked this movie, and while I was watching it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can relate to this character so much. And then I was like, never mind, I can't relate to him. So I really want to read this book. I think it's really interesting, and I just think it has a lot of good messages. I think it's a literary fiction young adult book, but it's about a boy named Charlie, and he's starting high school and he doesn't have any friends, and he is just kind of struggling a lot, and it's internalized. So I'm really excited to get to this one too. Those last two books that my aunt gave me were kind of a downer, but I think that there might be some positive things inside of these books as well. So this is going to be the end of part 4. There will also be a part 5. Sorry about that, but if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below on any of the books that I got or any of the items that I got that are book related. I would love to know your opinions on them, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!